Good afternoon, you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about me. I'm T. Anyway, so in 4 days, it will have been 3 months since I lost my Nugget, and a lot of people do and don't know about my story, and I haven't really quite told it, but today I'm going to. And it's going to be probably a bumpy road, but just bear with me. So first of all, I do have a ring on my left hand on my ring finger. Not a marriage ring, not an engagement ring, none of the following. I actually am divorced, but that's a whole different story as well. This is actually a nugget. As if you guys can see, it's a nugget. And I lost my nugget. And one of my dear co-workers, one day after the incident, I was out of work for a week, she said that she found me a nugget. And I cried, she cried, it was a big emotional thing. And since the day since she gave it to me, it has not left my hand. And I guarantee you it won't. It's one of the, okay, I'm not gonna cry. Anyway, it means a lot to me, and the story I'm about to tell you, you'll understand why. So, I believe it was my senior year of high school. I was just never feeling good. It didn't matter what it was, I was constantly not feeling good. And I went to the doctors, and it ended up being me going to the doctor quite frequently. I was diagnosed with endometriosis, and for those of you that don't know what that is, it is a chronic illness in women that basically entails that it will be difficult to have kids, or they can't have kids, as well as I don't want to give you guys the wrong facts. Google it, because I don't want to misguide you. I did my research, but it's always just very hard to explain to people. It's basically just a pain in the ass, literally. Not literally. Anyway, besides the point. I was told that it would be hard for me to have kids, and I was on Depo for a really long time. That's a birth control shot. It helped me not feel bad, except at the same time, I didn't eat right. I lost a bunch of weight, and then again, I started not feeling good again, so I got off of it. I got married, and I was married for 3 years, and we kind of basically tried to have kids for 2 years or so, and it never happened, and I was starting to think that it wouldn't. And then after my marriage, that kind of just went a different direction. I got in a relationship with a guy that I care a lot about. I'm not gonna lie, he means a lot to me. That's a different story as well. I'm not saying that we weren't trying. It kind of just ended up happening, and we weren't mad about it. We weren't upset. We were a little scared because I thought I couldn't have kids, and I remember being at work, and I'm telling you, I'm at work, I'm just, I woke up 4 o'clock that morning, and I'm like, God, I don't feel good. I had my period for a while, but with endometriosis, I missed my periods quite often, and it took a while for me to get them, so I wasn't thinking anything about it. I took a million pregnancy tests before that always come up negative, and it never felt good because I always wanted kids. I still do. So I'm sitting here in the bathroom. I'm on the phone with my grandma, and she randomly calls me. I'm like, didn't tell nobody I was taking a test, because I didn't think that it's gonna be negative anyway. But just in case, just to rule out all the options, I'm on the phone with her, and we're talking, and I just peed on the stick. I'm at work. It's early in the morning. I don't feel good. Then Christian immediately dials in. I just said his name anyway. Christian immediately dials in, and he's like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? I'm like, yeah, at work. And I'm just sitting there holding the test, just talking to him. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, what? What is it? Are you okay? And I'm like, and I'm telling you, my whole body flushes, and I have no idea. Like, I stop breathing for a few seconds, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. And, oh God, it's just the best feeling in the world. I cannot even begin to explain it. And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. And we got quiet, and I was like, I have to go. And I felt kind of, now that they were like, I just was abruptly like, I have to go. And he's like, okay. So I get off the phone and I call my grandma, and at this point now I'm crying because I'm freaking the hell out. I don't know what to do. I have a child growing inside of me. Oh my God. I was ecstatic but then scared, and it was Father's Day. Oh my God. Yes, I found out on Father's Day. I forgot to tell you guys. So I call my grandma and I'm like crying. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm pregnant. Oh my God. What am I going to do? She's like, get off work. Come on. Come to the lake now. You know, we'll talk about it. So that day, I couldn't handle. I could not tell I told my dad and my grandpa and my twin. I told the people that meant the most. And I was just so happy, and I was so shocked that, oh my God, I'm going to be a mom. And we had started our processes, me and Christian did. We made like a savings account for Nugget, and I had started signing up for stuff. I went to the doctors. Everything was going, you know, the way it was supposed to. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was. The doctor called me. I got blood drawn. The doctor called me, and she told me while I was at work, she says, your levels didn't go up. And I begged her, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, please tell me, like, you're kidding. You're, like, there's a way they're going to go up, right? And I kept telling her, I was like, please tell me there's a way they're going to go up. And she was like, I'm sorry, I can't promise you that. And I was just sitting there, and I started crying. I'm begging her as I'm clocking out work. I'm like, please, like, you don't understand, like. And she just kept telling me that they weren't going to go up. And that whole day after driving, I don't know how I even drove home. My boyfriend's mother, she called me, and she was like, you know, pull over. And I didn't pull over. I was already almost home. And she's like, I'm going to come. And they live 8 hours away, different state. And she's like, I'm going to come. And I started throwing up. My best friend came. And it hadn't even happened yet. It was just, they wrecked my whole world that instant. And next thing you know, he's on a plane, and I'm picking up the next morning after dry heaving and throwing up the whole day before. My best friend took me to the airport, and we're good. And we spent that day together, and I'm zoned out. I'm depressed. Like, I was not myself, and I know I wasn't. But the thing is, in the car before I drove home, I FaceTimed him, and I will never forget. I'm crying, and he goes, no. Like, immediately he looks at me and says no, and I'm like, and the look on his face will forever shatter everything inside of me, because like that moment when you know that things are just gonna fall apart, I promise you, it's just a terrible feeling. So he gets on the plane the next day. We pick him up, and we just enjoy the day together. I'm laying in bed. We're just the only day that we got to really even enjoy. He told me, he's like, calm down. It hasn't happened yet. Like, miracles can happen. Blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there thinking that, you know, it's gonna get better. Maybe. And the next morning, I woke up. I got cut off because my grandma called me. Well, the next morning, I woke up and immediately was in the worst pain of my life. I don't even know how. I could barely breathe. I could barely walk. And then off to the hospital we went. But I didn't want to go. I was like, you know what? They're not going to do anything. It's a waste of time, waste of me, you know, going to the hospital. So I didn't want to. Well, we're already there, and I'm crying, and I'm just begging, like, all I'm saying is over. Is I want my baby. I don't want to do this. And then we get there. They start sticking me with needles, and she just tells me, we do this exam, and she's like, the baby's not in your uterus. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, you're having an ectopic pregnancy. And she says, and we have to treat you for it, or like it could kill you. And they gave me the treatments for it, and I couldn't go in the sun for like 3 weeks. Obviously no sexual intercourse for 2 because of the medicines they gave me, was like a cancer medicine, methotrexate or whatever. And a few days later, we took Christian back to the airport, and after that, I had just been out of work for a week. And you know, it's not an easy thing, and people don't talk about it. And I'm here to say that stuff like this happens to people every day, and they hide it, and they don't express themselves about it. And I've gotten a lot better. I can talk about it and not cry. And I have a shadow box for it and everything. And it was hard. And it strains me as a person, and it strains the relationship. And not everybody can make it through things like that. And unfortunately, me and my significant other didn't. But that's okay. Everything happens for a reason, and I didn't want to hear that for a long time, and I still don't particularly like hearing it, because people that do drugs and abuse their kids, they get to keep them, and I didn't. But I'm blessed to have Nugget, even though it was only the short time that I did. I'm really blessed. So I can say that if you've lost a child, or you're experiencing what I've experienced, or similar or worse, because a lot of people do have it worse, that it does get better. I've gotten better. It takes a lot support, and I didn't have the exact support I wanted, but I did have support, and that's more than I can say that a lot of people, they don't get, because they don't tell their story. So basically, this is the story of my Nugget, and if you ever do see me talking about it on social media or just in general, it means a lot to me, and it's a part of me regardless of how it ended. And I just like to say that for anyone that's lost a child, or had a miscarriage, or has endometriosis, that there are people that understand what you're going through, and you're not alone. So, with that being said, I probably left out a few things, but now I'm just kind of zoned out. But that is me telling you a little bit about tea. I hope you guys have a great day.